December 15th.
December 15th.
Right.
Welcome everybody to CEO Chat. My name is Alcini.
I'm Joe Asmendi.
Are you really Joe
Yes, I am.
Asmendi? Look at you. You look so good today.
Thank you. So
And we have a terrific guest. His name is Scott Hafetz. But I want
Scott, welcome
I
to
want
the
to
show.
I want to welcome a new sponsor. Nice to see you, Scott. Thanks for coming. We have a sponsor for CEO Chat. It's Hiram and Solomon Cigars. You can learn more about them at hiramandsolomon.com. They make terrific cigar products and related products. They sell them online. They sell them through retailers. You're a cigar smoker, aren't you?
Not anymore.
Well, you could be again, and here we are. We've got an assortment here. So
Yeah, there you go.
yeah, so Hiram and Solomon Cigars. But Scott Hafetz is the owner, founder of Hafetz and Associates, and we're talking employee benefits here, health benefits in particular. Your job is to work as a consultant to companies to help them craft the kinds of health benefits programs that benefit their employees and also benefit their bottom line. It's, what is it that makes Hafetz and Associates different, Scott?
I've been doing this 32 years now, and so I've seen all the changes that have happened from then to now. I started working out of the trunk of my car and used payphones.
Right.
And that's how we did it then, and obviously it's evolved. Today, it's constantly changing. We're members of numerous organizations to keep us ahead of the curve. We're members of NAHU, which is our National Association of Health Underwriters. We're members of NFP. We're affiliated with NFP. They're out of Austin, Texas. They're the 10th largest consulting firm in the country. And by being affiliated with them, we have attorneys on retainer. We always are, which we then offer that service to our clients, or our clients can utilize that and at no cost. The attorneys, our experience, we're a GA with Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield. There's only 8 of us in the state, and we're one of them. We feel that when we go into a company, no matter what the size is, it could be a husband, wife, 2-person group, up to our largest client is about 5,000 employees.
Wow.
Okay.
So, we go in, we do a nice fact finding, we understand the culture of the company, which is always important. We understand what they're doing now, what they like, what they don't like. And with the resources that we have, we usually come back with a game plan, and we like to work with a 1, 3, 5-year game plan, because there's one thing we know: insurance rates are going to go up every year.
Right.
That we know. So we need to figure out ways within the company that fits their needs, that works best for them, that we can help mitigate that cost. One of the ways that we've just started, well, we've been doing it about 5 years now, that we've been able to help offset cost is through technology.
Okay.
So technology right now is, I like to say at some point we like to get to that Amazon type of technology.
Right.
We're not there yet.
Self-service.
It's self-service. But we're growing that way. So what I like to do with employers, whether I'm talking to the owner of the company or the HR or the controller or all three, is we're really starting to talk a lot about technology and how that can help them help their bottom line, but service their employees better.
Which is, really, that's twin goals. You want to make sure the employees feel happy about the service they're getting. You want to make sure you're not spending more than you have to be spending to provide those benefits. I want to get into technology and how it's changed things, because I know that's a specialty area for you. But before we do that, you said you started the company 32 years ago as a one-man shop out of the trunk of your car. How big is your team now?
There's 40 of us. There's 40 of us in our office.
Okay.
We have...
Can we have that picture, Kyle? Maybe we can let's bring that picture up.
Okay.
There are 40 people altogether, right?
Keep going. Okay. There's 40 of us in the office. Within that, our service team, which I feel also...
Yeah, there we go. There's a picture of the crew.
Oh, cool. There's 40 of us total. Within the group of 40 that we have 8 people that do nothing but Medicare, so we call that Team Medicare.
Okay.
We have a claims department, so this is another thing that separates us, I feel. So all our clients, if they have a claim issue, they send it to us.
Yeah. See, now I think that's a really important point, Scott, because you mentioned technology is changing things, no question. And we like to think that there's an app for everything, but when somebody is sick and they have a claims problem, they want to call a human being who can understand what's wrong so that they can get help, and you have that, you offer that.
We do. Last year, I believe, we helped with about 3,000 claims that came through our office.
Really?
Right, and some of them are actually paid right, and we tell them why it is paid correctly, and some are not, and we get them fixed, and our clients are very appreciative.
Sure.
Because we know who to call. We have separate numbers to call than an 800 number or a customer service number that an employee might call or the owner of a company might call. So we have a whole separate route to get these fixed.
Right.
And we understand what we're looking at. So it speeds up the process, and it's a service that we provide.
So if I'm out there, if I'm somebody out there who owns a company and I've got 50 or 5,000 employees, and I want to work with a team that can support those employees with actual human intervention when necessary and not just some portal that I send them a URL to, I should give you a call because you can hook us up with that.
That's correct.
Yeah, I think that's such an important value proposition.
We actually have someone that still answers the phone.
You do?
Really?
You get a live person when you call our office.
It's so unusual.
So,
That's
yes,
so unusual.
you don't have to hit a bunch of prompts
No, that's
to
great.
get to where you're trying to get to, and then you get disconnected in between. So we actually have a person that picks up the phone and will direct your calls and help you through the process of getting through to our office.
There's a website if you want to use it, but
I was going to ask you, how important is compliance for your clients?
Compliance is a huge, huge issue today. The last survey I saw with HR throughout the country, HR consultants, I think they had, what are your 5 biggest issues? Number 1 was compliance.
It was, okay.
Number 1 was compliance. And for us, we, as I mentioned, through NFP, or affiliation with NFP, we have an attorney on retainer, but we also have HR support for all our clients have at no cost to them. So if they have a question about if they need to terminate an employee for some reason and they're not sure how, why, they have a place to go.
Okay.
You know, since Obamacare, there's a lot more rules that are in place today that weren't prior to Obamacare, especially if your group is over 50 employees or 50 with full-time equivalents. There's a whole different set of rules that never existed before. So we have to make sure the paperwork's filled out correctly,
Right.
they're filing everything right to the IRS. So that's another service that we provide for our clients. Another service in that, getting back to the 40 people within our office, is we have an account rep for each one of our clients. Another live person they can talk to.
a person that you know that is your
That works in our office. So if somebody needs to add or delete an employee and we don't have them onboarded, they would call their dedicated account rep.
okay.
And we do that for the employer.
Right.
So that's another service that we provide. Plus, each employer has the consultant that they work with, that they worked with from the beginning, and they stay with that group. It's not like they work with that group and the process is finished with the employee enrollment, and they stay with that group throughout.
Continuity,
Right.
which is important.
Throughout.
So I make a friend, and I keep a friend, and that works throughout the process.
That's correct.
Okay, now you mentioned compliance, and I think that was a great question, Joe. Compliance is at the federal level, obviously, of the Affordable Care Act. There are also state compliance hurdles that you have to leap, state by state. And I know you're based in Linwood, and you've got an office in Iceland, and that's New Jersey, but your clients could be anywhere.
That's correct. But in the state of New Jersey, which is a good point, since President Trump became president, some states no longer mandate insurance. New Jersey still does.
Okay.
Okay.
So in the state of New Jersey, in the individual market, which we still call Obamacare, if you do not have insurance, when you go file your tax return, you will be penalized.
Oh, really?
Now, there's some states that eliminated that, but New Jersey did not.
Okay.
So that's something that a lot of people might not be aware of.
Well, that's an important thing to know. And but if I have a company, let's say, that has employees in California, Utah, Kansas, you can cover me. I mean, you can take care of that. It doesn't matter where my people are. I can make a plan with you that covers them wherever they are, and everybody's compliant wherever they work.
Correct. We have our larger clients have employees throughout the country, and for that matter, throughout the world. So yes, we make sure that the employer is compliant. The employees in each one of those states are communicated to on what the offerings are, whether it's on onboarding process or whether it's verbally, so they understand what products they have and how it works in whatever state they're in. So that is, yes, we can accomplish that.
So customer experience, and that would be the employee and the point of service from the employee's point of view. What do they see when they work with you?
I feel that they get great customer service. That's our goal. Because at the end of the day, the numbers are the numbers, the rates are the rates.
Right.
So what separates us, getting back to your original question, is customer service. I feel we provide a high level of customer service to our clients. They call us for everything. I don't want our clients, unless they want to, call the carrier. I want them to call us, and I want to solve the problems, if there is a problem, for them. When it comes to marketing the group as far as rates, at the end of the day, that is what it is. So what separates us is customer service.
That. A lot of research says the reason why people stay with companies is because their health benefits are attractive to them. They appeal to them. And if you can provide that for a company, you can keep employees, cut down turnover, keep employees that way. I mean, it's a big part of what matters to an employee these days.
It is. Retention is important today.
Exactly.
Unemployment's low, so to recruit and retain employees is very important to most employers, and benefits are a key way for them to recruit and retain employees.
Okay. And you mentioned carriers. You don't just represent one, you represent a bunch. So when I work with you to put a plan together for my employees, you put together a solution what matters is you're getting the carrier that offers you the best deal and the best service.
Correct. We shop the market. That's our terminology. With every carrier, assuming the company's domiciled in New Jersey, we shop the market with all the carriers in New Jersey, and then we would bring back to the employer, the controller, or HR, whoever we're working with, the three that make the most sense, and then we would talk about A, B, and C, and the pros and cons of each one, and what might fit their needs best.
Okay, great. Now, in the engagement itself, that has to be rolled out. Communication has to be sent out to the employees. You need to offer training sometimes to explain to people what their benefits are. How do you help with that?
Two ways. One is we have employee meetings when possible, and we really try to promote employee meetings and make them mandatory, so we can, and if possible, they bring a spouse.
Right.
So the husband and wife both hear it. So employee meetings are one way to communicate their benefits, and then onboarding. So if we can do it, we'd like to do both. We'd like to do the employee meetings and then have everybody actually enroll online. And then everything is right there. They can always go right there to review their benefits. So the summary would be right online. Their ID card would be online. So if they lose it, it's right there on their phone. So that we prefer to do both.
Okay, and you can offer both. I think that's great. We're taking a break.
Yeah, we're taking a break.
But I want
right
to keep
now.
talking to Scott.
Oh, I know you do. We have to take.
So after the
some
break, we'll
notes.
come back and we'll talk some more with Scott. He's got so much to say.
We will. Hang in there. We'll be
Okay,
right back.
thank you.
I told you he'd be a great guest.
Gotta pay some bills.
We'll be back with more CEO chat after these messages.
The session that we had with BCAT was really entertaining and enlightening. We were able to put together some very specific steps that we as individuals can take, and it was really fun to all come together and see sort of where we're going as a team and how we can all get there together.
We had a tremendous experience with the BCAT partners. One of the challenges that we have as an organization is to make sure that we have the right people in the right chairs doing the right thing. To do that well, you have to have synergy. You can try to dream up ways to make sure that your group does that, or you can rely on experts. We would recommend BCAT partners to anybody who's looking to take their organization to the next level.
Welcome back to CEO Chat. My name is Al Cini,
I'm still Joe Osamendi.
and you better never change. And this is Scott Hafetz, and he's got so much to offer for any company that's looking for an employee health benefits program that really suits the needs of their employees. And you know, before in the first segment and during the break, we were talking about the need to communicate out not just that you have a new plan, but when there are updates to that plan, that needs to be communicated out. When there are changes in the plan, you handle that as well. That's something else you provide.
We do. Communication is very important, and I also feel this is getting back to your first question, what separates us.
Right.
We are constantly communicating with our employers throughout the year if there's any changes in regulations, if there's anything new out there that might interest them. The most recent one that we've communicated is the state of New Jersey just increased the cost and the dollar amount from, and I don't remember off the top of my head the exact dollars, but it's significant for state disability.
Okay.
So a lot of employers are not aware of that. So in the state of New Jersey, and I believe it was $34,400. It's going up to $131,000.
Big jump.
Wow.
Huge jump. So every employer and every employee is going to have to contribute more to the state disability, and most are unaware of it. And it's a significant, could be a significant dollar
It
amount.
could be significant, and knowing that before everybody else knows it is kind of a specialty of
So
Hafetz and Associates.
Right.
I mean, that's a big value proposition. So
it is, and that is like what we most recently just sent out that we felt was
Sure.
important for employers to know.
see, and before the program too, we were talking about how what you do is really more consultative than selling.
Yes.
You are consultants, and that's what you do. So if you have a large customer that has an HR department, you can work with the HR department in a rollout and an update of a program like that. But a lot of your customers are a lot smaller and don't have HR departments, in which case you take the whole thing over for them.
That's correct. We actually become their HR department.
Sure.
So we actually become the owner's HR department for
Sure.
them because they're not in a position to have an HR team, so we do it for them.
Well, and I mean, no matter how small a company is, it still needs to compete in the talent market. You need to provide the kinds of benefits that attract the best people. Got to talk to Scott Hafetz. Now, you mentioned too before the program that we're coming up on the open enrollment period for Medicare, and I know that's a specialty area for you. What should people know about that?
It is. Again, we started our Medicare team about 7, 8 years ago now. We have 8 people in our office that do.
This is important for Joe because someday he's going to need Medicare.
And if you need help now, just call me.
Oh, okay.
Well, actually, better off calling someone else in my office. But you just call the
No.
office.
Me, no.
yeah.
But you, yeah.
Yeah, we have 8 people in our office, and that's what they do.
Right.
Medicare open enrollment is October 7th to December 15th.
Okay.
That's the only time of year you can do it, right?
It's the only time of the year where you can actually make a change.
Okay.
Unless you're just turning 65, then you can get on then during the course of the year. But if you're already 65 or older, this is your opportunity where if you're not happy with the plan you're in, you can make a change.
Okay.
More importantly, and most importantly, what normally happens is RX, prescriptions. Because the formularies for the vendors, the carriers, each year change. And or our clients' prescriptions change.
Right.
So that is something that should be reviewed every year. Because our clients you want to be in the best possible prescription card that meets your needs based on the prescriptions you're taking.
That's really kind of a minefield if you're just sort of guessing your way through this. If you don't have expert advice, you can make a big, expensive mistake.
Correct. And that's a part of the service we offer. We walk our Medicare clients through the whole process. We'll get a list of all their prescriptions.
Right.
We have programs that'll tell us what's the best prescription card for them based on their needs today.
The
You offer
pharmaceutical
seminars.
thing is really important.
Oh yeah, really.
Very important.
Yes. And we do offer educational seminars.
Okay.
We give at least 1 a month, sometimes 2 a month. There's no cost for the seminar. And by the way, there's no cost if someone ends up purchasing a policy through us either. In fact, I actually tell people that do, because a lot of people do call an 800 number and they talk to one particular vendor.
Right.
Well, when you do that, the only information you're going to get is about that one vendor. When you talk to us, we represent 9 vendors throughout the state. We could talk about, we're educated in all 9 of them. We offer 4 different prescription cards throughout the state this year. There's 4 that are in New Jersey. and we will walk you through all 4 of them. So we will educate you on what's best based on what doctors you go to, what hospitals you might go to if you have to go to the hospital. We need to know all that, and again, as I mentioned, prescriptions, to know what works best for you.
Right.
That's a big deal. And you mentioned that sometimes when people leave the seminar, they ask you how much they owe you because it's a free seminar, but they feel like they got real value for it.
It is free seminar, and they do ask us, and they do. And if someone ends up buying a policy through us, they think they owe us money also, and they do not. We do get paid. There is compensation, but it's built into the premium.
No obligation.
And there's no obligation.
Yeah.
In fact, my thought is, if you call vendor direct, the cost is the same. You know, if it's $100 with me, it's $100 with the vendor that you just called direct. So it seems to me that the vendor might be keeping that compensation, and now you don't have service.
A vendor kind of has an agenda, and your agenda is the customer, not the carrier.
That's correct.
So that's really, I think that's really key. You love what you do, don't you?
I do. As I mentioned,
I mean, it kind of comes out in the way you describe it. So
you know, I've been doing it for 32 years. I love helping people because that's what we're in. You know, we're in the business of helping people at usually a rough patch in their life. You know, there's somebody's sick.
often a child that's sick.
A child.
I mean, there's catastrophic events.
And they're real
The
sad
worst.
situations. Yes. And
The worst
So
that can happen.
we're helping people in a time where they really, the last thing they want to hear is how does their health insurance work.
No, they just want to know that it's going to be taken care of.
They just want to know it's being taken care of. They have
Yeah.
plenty of other things on their mind.
Well, I mean, that's why it's great to have somebody like you to, I mean, when my family has a crisis, I'm working. I need my family to know that they're going to be covered, and that to have somebody that they can call, I think that's just solid gold. And you're also very active in the community, and you do some giving back. And I think we have a picture of your Rowan partnership. Maybe we can bring that up. You can talk a little bit about that.
Rutgers.
Yeah, we're proud partners of Rutgers Athletics.
Oh, Rutgers partnership.
Yeah, Rutgers Athletics. In fact, I'm really excited. This basketball season coming up, we are giving a sponsorship to somebody at Rutgers, somebody that lives in South Jersey, that's in their business MBA business school at Rutgers, and we're going to provide that. It's going to be a $10,000 scholarship that we're giving them. I'm really excited about that.
That's great. How long have you been doing that?
We've been with Rutgers about a year now.
Wow, good.
I'm also chairman of the board of Gilda's Club, which is a local nonprofit. So we do a lot of work with that. But more importantly, and most importantly, the whole office is engaged.
Your employees
Well,
are
it's
engaged.
something everybody's into.
Everybody's engaged. Everybody in our office has their own charity that for whatever reasons is their favorite charity, and we all work towards meeting the goals of that charity with whoever in the office. So I have mine, and everybody else has theirs.
No, that's great.
And that's the culture of our company.
So
We
it's
have to
kind of
give
like
back.
a little United Way inside the firm where everybody gets to designate the money you raise for a particular charity that matters to them. And you set a corporate goal. We have to raise this much money to benefit those members of our community.
That's correct. I mean, we're all very fortunate, and there's people out there that are not as fortunate, and we should give back to the community, and that is the culture of our agency.
Well,
Pay it
that
forward.
is,
Pay it forward.
yeah, that's great. That's great. So what have we not talked about that we need to talk about?
I feel as if, you know, if you call our office, you know, and you just want to talk to us, you know, our phone number is 609-872-0001. You can always reach out to us on our website, hafetzassociates.com. And I just feel that, you know, if you're just looking for a second opinion, you might be very comfortable with what you have.
Right.
And you might have exactly what you should have based on the situation that you're in. But we're there to give you a second opinion. We love to, as I mentioned earlier numerous times, to help people. We're in the service business. We love to provide service. And at the end of the day, I feel really comfortable that our clients are being served well.
You know,
Healthcare is always changing too, so you have to keep abreast of that.
Constantly changing. There's rules coming out January 1st that weren't here last year. So we have to make sure our clients are aware of it.
Right.
So if we have a company out there that has a health plan in place, once a year, maybe they'll give you a call, say, I'm not so sure this is working for me anymore. Maybe you can come in and take a look at that, and you'll provide that level of service and help them. And if it's not for you, you'll just let them know.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's great. But call Scott because you want Scott to be looking over your shoulder while you're making these potentially very costly decisions that affect all the employees in your company.
It is, and it does. And again, as I said earlier, employees don't care as much when we first purchase until they need it.
Yeah.
When they need it is when they want to know, how does this work again? And that's what we're there to explain.
That's got to be the part of your job that matters the most to you when people call you and say thank you for the help you've given us. That's got to
Very
make
rewarding.
for a great day.
Very rewarding. Yes.
Well, that's just terrific. Good. Well, this has been a terrific CEO chat, and we've really enjoyed talking with you. And one more time, take a look in your camera and tell everybody how to reach you.
Our phone number is 609-872-0001, or you can reach us on our website at hafetzassociates.com.
hafetzassociates.com. It's a great website, by the way. There's a lot of great information on it. I took a look before we hopped on the program today. And I also want to thank our sponsors on this CEO chat, Hiram and Solomon Cigars, HiramandSolomonCigars.com. They sell online. They also sell through retailers. Great company, great products. And as a token of our appreciation for you appearing on our program, we're offering you a Veiled Prophet, which is one of their premier signature limited edition cigar products. So
Thank you very much.
what a great time, Scott. Thanks
you.
for joining us. And thanks all of you for joining us on CEO Chat. We'll see you again next Friday. I'm Al Cini.
Joe Osamendi?
Are you still Joe Esamendi?
Always have been.
And we'll see you both again. We'll see you again next week.
Have a safe weekend. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks very much, everybody. Great.